Welcome back to Britain. Now this video is about the characters of the background of the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, famous guy. So what's kind of the setting of this play?
The setting is not Britain, the setting is Italy, in Verona. And in the prologue, we know that Romeo and Juliet will die. Star-crossed lovers, that means they're doomed. The protagonists, of course, are both Romeo and Juliet. And a major theme is the forcefulness of love. In Act 2, we will hear these violent delights have violent ends. And when watching the play, the Montagues are in blue and the Capulets are in red. This wasn't in the writings of Shakespeare, but it was a way for the audience watching the play to distinguish the two families.
So it's kind of like an artistic take on the thing. Mm-hmm. So kind of how the directors interpreted it.
I came up with Monteblue because the Montagues were blue. And the key characters, obviously, we start off with Romeo and Juliet. Romeo is a Montague whose family is in a feud with the Capulets. He's a lover, not a fighter, and the story begins with him in love with Rosaline, and then he falls in love with Juliet and secretly marries her. He would rather die than live without Juliet.
So beautiful. But what about Juliet?
Juliet is a Capulet, and she's 13, and she's really naive when it comes to love. Her closest confidant is the nurse, but they later have an argument and have a fallout.
So what are some more key characters?
All right.
Relationships with the main characters.
There's Mercutio. He's Romeo's close friend. He's got a temper and he doesn't like pretentious people. And then there's a nurse. She's Juliet's nurse, and she took care of Juliet when she was young, and she's loyal to Juliet until the end of the play where she has an argument with her. There's also Tybalt. He's a Capulet. He's Juliet's cousin. He's arrogant and he's easily offended. He hates the Montagues. And then there's Lord Capulet. He's Juliet's father. He's in a feud. It doesn't reveal why, but he's in a feud with the Montagues, and he wants Juliet to marry Paris.
Reminds me of Greek mythology.
Oh yeah, Paris of Troy.
Paris.
And then there's Lady Capulet, Juliet's mom. She married young and gave birth to Juliet at age 14. She's not the best mom since the nurse takes care of Juliet instead of her, and she also wants Juliet to marry Paris. And then the Monteblues. Montague is Romeo's father, and he's the enemy of Capulet. And Lady Montague, she's Romeo's mom. She dies of grief when Romeo is exiled from Verona.
Now, if you really like this video, if you want to learn more about the Montablues and some other stuff, please like, subscribe.
Capulets.
The catapults. But if you really like it, then, like, subscribe, comment if you really have questions, and maybe we can answer it. And also, maybe we could have a funny video. But on to some more characters. Who's Paris?
Paris of Troy, obviously. No, this isn't Greece. He's a kinsman of the prince, and he wants to marry Juliet, and he becomes a jerk. And then there's Benvolio. He's Montague's nephew and Romeo's cousin. He tries to calm things down when things start getting tense, and then he tries to keep Romeo from thinking about Rosaline.
But why?
Because Romeo is, super in love with Rosaline, and he's just being kind of crazy about it. So Benvolio is just like, dude, calm down. And then there's Prince Aeschylus. He wants to keep the peace in Verona. He's the Prince of Verona. He's a kinsman of Mercutio in Paris. And then there's the chorus. A single character, but not really. And they serve as the narrator. The chorus represents multiple people, but they're also just one character.
Well, anyways, bye. If you want to really know more about Shakespeare, comment down below.